All right, time again to continue with the Blu-ray collection. This time I'll start with Vinegar Syndrome, which is an American company. Lots of good stuff here, lots of quite questionable stuff as well. Yeah, like last time, I will do just a bunch of different companies. So I'll start with Vinegar, and then after that I'll do as many as I can fit here. Like I mentioned last time, I have maybe one or two or three releases by just a bunch of companies. I think there are maybe 15 or so companies left here on my stacks that I haven't covered so far. So let's get into it without any further ado. This is the Homegrown Horrors box set. This is the first one. I don't have that many of the box sets from Vinegar Syndrome. This is an American company. It is somewhat expensive to import these. Not really that expensive, really. I think their box sets are quite affordable, especially during sales. I've utilized their halfway to Black Friday sales and Black Friday sales quite heavily when getting some of these. But yeah, this is a box set of ultra low budget horror movies. So starting off with Fatal Exam, I think this movie is absolute dog water, so to speak. Really bad slasher. But the other ones, like these, I'm really happy that I got this box set because I got to watch Beyond Dream's Door and Winter Beast. Beyond Dream's Door, I think this is an underrated American horror movie. I really enjoyed this one. It's a student movie made by a bunch of people from like Ohio or something, or Utah, one of those places in the middle parts of America, the flyover states, so to speak. I was really impressed by this one. Just a bunch of students borrowed film equipment from their like film school and did this no budget horror movie. It's an it's kind of like an H.P. Lovecraft style cosmic horror story with some surprisingly good special effects. I thought this was very charming and definitely worth watching. And then Winter Beast. I didn't necessarily like this one, but it is an unforgettable experience. It has stop motion animation in it. It has weird special effects. It has I think it had drawn animation as well. Just all kinds of ideas just slammed together into this one mess of a movie. It was thoroughly entertaining. So recommendation also for Winter Beast. Many people are going to hate everything in this box set, but I found some enjoyment there, maybe even more so than I should have. Right, another box set that I adore is the Films of Rudy Ray Moore set, which has Dolomite, The Human Tornado, P.T. Wheatstraw, and Disco Godfather. Unfortunately, the quality of the movies goes down quite a bit after the first two, but yeah, these are blaxploitation movies. Only the first one is called Dolomite, but it's basically the same character that Rudy Ray Moore plays in all of the ones here. So Dolomite is just a classic of the blaxploitation genre. Really good. Rudy Ray Moore plays this kung fu master who also rhymes most of his lines. It's so stupid. Like he cannot throw a punch or do a windmill kick to save his life, but he tries so hard. He sells it. He is the stiffest kung fu master you will ever see in a movie. The Human Tornado, another classic. It is one of the most thoroughly entertaining action movies you will ever watch if you give it a chance. It is absolutely ridiculous. I don't want to spoil anything about it. It's definitely worth checking out. Then we got a horror movie, P.T. Wheatstraw, The Devil's Son-in-Law. One of the weaker ones in the box set, but it does have some funny ideas. And yeah, it is kind of a horror movie as well, on top of being like a martial arts movie. blaxploitation movie. And then there's Disco Godfather, which has the greatest title of all of the movies, but unfortunately, I think this is the weakest one in the set. It was quite boring, to be honest. I don't expect a blaxploitation movie to be boring, but I had a rough time getting through that one. So yeah, there's Rudy Ray Moore, great American hero. Moving from America to Eastern Europe, I also have a copy of the Apocalypse Tetralogy by Piotr Zulkin. So this has 4 movies in it. Great imagery. So these are Cold War era post-apocalyptic movies from Poland, one of the countries that was heavily under communist dictatorship rule during that time. It is a miracle that they even allowed these movies to be shot, because they are quite explicitly criticizing the political system and the political landscape of that time. One thing that I didn't really appreciate about this release is that it didn't have that many special features in it, especially for an American audience that isn't necessarily that well versed in European history. I think it would have been a good idea to include some more special features covering the political topics that these movies cover. So we have 4 movies here. We have Golem, which is, I think, the strongest movie in this set. It is quite an avant-garde sci-fi movie. It is a strange one, so definitely not for everyone. War of the Worlds is probably the most easily accessible of the movies. Deals with journalism and like manufacturing truth and just media lies and everything like that. It is loosely based on the H.G. Wells story as well. So there are aliens that come to Earth, and then humans are like trying to live with them. That didn't happen in the original story, because in the original story, in the original War of the Worlds, all of the aliens die, but here they don't necessarily. Watch the movie and you'll find out for yourself. Then Obi Oba and Gaga, awful movie titles, but there's a reason for the titles as well. Some more apocalyptic stuff. All the movies are quite different. So this is about like media and journalism and this sort of thing. Then Obi Oba, that's the one in the like tunnels in the fallout shelters. So there's a bunch of remnants of humanity living in fallout shelters. And then Gaga is about this. It's about the guy who like commits crimes and is on it's a very Kafkaesque story where this guy is committing crimes and not getting any punishment for it, and he just goes crazy. It's interesting. Yeah. It's a sci-fi movie. It takes place in a space station and on this weird planet where this guy just goes berserk and starts doing GTA stuff. Interesting movies, not really my cup of tea for the most part, but yeah, a curiosity for anyone who's into post-apocalyptic stories and sci-fi movies. A low-budget stuff as well, so in that sense, very impressive. Then I have a copy of this box set, Villages of the Damned, which is a horror box set. 3 movies from Spain. I think these are from the 1970s. There's the book, some imagery from the book. The Sensual World. I thought that all of the movies in this set were all right and interesting, but not really that great. So I don't mind watching any of these. I could see myself rewatching all of them at some point, but I don't think they are that special, really. But they are again an interesting curiosity. That's one of the main reasons why I support Vinegar Syndrome, is that they just release weird stuff that no one else is going to touch. So yeah, this has Beatriz, which is like a it's like a proto-torture porn movie where these people invade a house and then just brutalize the people living there. And then you have The Forest of the Wolf from 1970, which is a kind of a werewolf movie. It's like a dark folk horror movie. It's pretty interesting. And what my favorite here is the third one, which is The Sky is Falling. The Sky is Falling from 1975. Or it's not the third one, it's the second one. It's this weird slasher movie, also kind of a slacker movie, about these rich Americans or like hippies who are living in this seaside small town, and they get killed one by one. Also has Dennis Hopper in it, playing his usual Dennis Hopper role. He's just on drugs all the time. So that's interesting, right? Right, next up, I have one of the magnet boxes. So Vinegar Syndrome started releasing these like magnet boxes. There are a bunch of movies that have this. I only have this one, Six String Samurai. Just a ridiculous movie. This is the type of experience that you expect from Vinegar Syndrome. It is such a strange movie. Completely and utterly unique. I've never seen anything like this. Really, really enjoyable movie. It's this kind of a lone wolf Western style movie about this guy, like a samurai Western, about this guy living in this post-apocalyptic wasteland. So it's like a Mad Max / a samurai movie in a post-apocalyptic setting. This guy, he's really good at playing the guitar, and also slicing up people with a katana for some reason. Has a little kid as a sidekick, and they are trying to get to the utopia that is like Nevada or whatever where they're going. This was shot in the desert. One of the great things about this release is that there is a full making of documentary series made by the guy who directed this movie. Filmed mostly in his private home studio where he works on movies and editing. So I thought the special features were really good. So yeah, the director is Lance Mungia. The Making of Six String Samurai, brand new extended length making of documentary directed by Elijah Drenner and Lance Mungia. Really good stuff. So yeah, it's a funny movie. Is it great? Not really, but it's an unforgettable watch and definitely worth checking out. Right, then I have a bunch of these slipcover releases. Starting off with one of the worst ones, I think. Vinegar Syndrome is one of those companies where you never know if you're going to get something gold or something completely dreadful. So Alien Private Eye, it is one of the worst movies I've seen, probably ever. Really low quality, low budget, action, sci-fi stuff. The actors, all of the actors are awful. The cover art is 100 times cooler than the actual movie. Getting through the movie is torture. It's a torturous movie to sit through. Next up, Blood Delirium. This is a horror movie. Surprise, surprise. Has this artist in it who thinks that he's the descendant of. He thinks that he's a reincarnation of Vincent van Gogh. And he likes killing people for some reason. I thought Blood Delirium was really fun. So an underrated horror movie from the 1980s. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Then I got a copy of the Spanish Bloodbath. So 3 more Spanish horror movies. Now these are, if this Village of the Damned box set was just folk horror movies for the most part, this one is giallo murder movies. And this one also has some good stuff and some really bad stuff in it. Night of the Skull I thought was all right. Nothing special, but worth watching. 80 minutes, really easy to get through. Then there is Violent Bloodbath. Was this? Directed by Jorge Grau. I don't know how the name is supposed to be pronounced. The funny thing about the movie is that it doesn't really have that much blood in it. Really, it's quite tame. The movie is much more violent than the actual movie. I thought it was quite interesting. It deals with this like a judge. Yeah. It's the movie with the judge as the main character who is going through these or checking out all of these crime scenes of murders that remind him of this serial killer case that he worked on back in the day. It's an interesting one. I think it's the strongest one in the box set. And then the third one, oh my god, The Fish with the Eyes of Gold. Do not watch this one. It is almost unwatchable. It is so incredibly bad. One of the worst movies I think Vinegar Syndrome has ever released. It's another one of these movies where immediately after 5 minutes you know that you're going to hate it. All the actors are just awful. It's such a wooden experience. Like none of the actors can deliver a line to save their lives, and the storyline doesn't even make any sense. It's just a waste of time. But you know what isn't a waste of time? The Beastmaster. I wish I had this is one of those movies that also has this sort of a magnet box. I wish I had that one because I absolutely love this movie. The cover art is interesting, to say the least. So you have this guy here. He's a master of beasts. He's the Beastmaster. He has a falcon. He has a panther. He has ferrets. He has attack ferrets. That's interesting. I like the idea. He has 2 ferrets that are just constantly attacking people. It's really fun. So yeah, I think the Beastmaster is phenomenal. One of my favorite 1980s, like these sort of fantasy movies. Just a thoroughly entertaining experience. It's camp, it's low budget, but it's really fun. I love it. And then I have a couple of releases from partner labels. So Vinegar Syndrome also release movies by other companies. These are partner label releases. First up, this is from Utopia, The Golden Arm, or just Golden Arm. It is a arm wrestling movie about female arm wrestlers. It's a comedy movie. I thought it was pretty funny, so I did enjoy this one. I think it's worth checking out. Definitely. It has a lot of heart. Another movie, this is from, what is the company even called? I don't know. What is the company? Factory 4? Factory 25. All right. Factory 25. This is Inspector Ike, which is, it's another comedy movie. It's kind of a comedy movie. Also has some blaxploitation elements. It's kind of a fake TV movie in this sort of like a TV detective story. This sort of thing that you would see like all the time even in the 1990s. You would have these TV shows. So it's a spoof of that. It is all right. I was hoping it would be funnier. It does have a recipe card and a booklet. I was hoping it would be funnier, but no. They can't all be winners. The booklet only has text, not even images. Not that interesting to flip through. Yeah. I wish it was better. It had a lot of potential. Then I have a copy of Minor Premise. This is by Utopia again. Minor Premise, which is a time-traveling sci-fi movie. Pretty interesting. I think it sticks the landing pretty well. Often these sort of time travel movies they try to go for too much trickery. Yeah, I did enjoy this one as well. So Minor Premise, all right. It's nowhere near as strong as what is the one? What is the really famous time travel movie? Obviously not Back to the Future. What is it called? I'm blanking. The one with the 2 dudes and the time machine. where they just loop all over the place. Why can't I? Well, I'll move on. I'll return to it if I remember. I don't actually even have that one in the collection. It was released by Arrow, I think. Yeah, and then I have one of the greatest releases ever on Blu-ray. This is the Wakaliwood Super Action Volume 1 with Who Killed Captain Alex and Bad Black. This image is not in either of the movies, unfortunately. But yeah, these are Ugandan action movies. Who Killed Captain Alex is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. It is one of the most entertaining, 70 or so minutes ever. I think the full movie is in YouTube, so you can check it out for free as well. But just the CGI, the acting, the writing, the commentary, you have to watch the movies with the commentary track from VJ Emmy on. Like the first time you watch the movie, you have to have VJ Emmy on. Do not watch the movies without him, because he is an essential part of the experience. This Ugandan guy who just keeps screaming on top of the movie. It's fantastic. Right. And then I have a couple of Asian releases. I had this on a separate pile. So I got a copy of Biozombie, which is a Hong Kong zombie movie that I think is really fun. I enjoy this quite a bit. It is more of a comedy horror movie than just a straight up horror movie. Has the typical cheese that you would expect from a Hong Kong movie, but put into this kind of a mall setting, kind of like Dawn of the Dead, but in Hong Kong. And yeah, it's just a fun horror movie. I have a soft spot for this one. I watched this together with a friend of mine, and I am disappointed how little they seemed to care for it, because I was really into it. And I absolutely love this. This is in the movie. This a zombie with a tap, like a water tap, stuck to its head, spilling out blood. That's a great image. I love that. So that is Biozombie. And I also have this box set of other Hong Kong horror movies. So this is Made in Hong Kong Volume 1. I don't think they have ever released Volume 2. I hope they do, because I was not expecting anything from these movies, but I think I got what I got more than I was expecting. So 3 Hong Kong horror movies. I had never heard of any of these beforehand. One of them is pretty bad. I think that's a common theme with these Vinegar Syndrome box sets. There's always one movie in there that is just really, really, really bad. And in here, that is, I think, The Deadly Camp is probably the worst one. So yeah, you have The Demon's Baby, which is it's like a historical horror movie. It was pretty entertaining. Erotic Nightmare, I liked it much more than I ever would have expected. The title is suspicious, but there is Anthony Wong in it. He's great. He's always great in all the movies that he's in. Anthony Wong, and it's just over the top gore and just ridiculous nihilistic violence from start to finish. Deals with this guy who kind of sells his soul to the devil and then is forced to commit just heinous crimes while he's sleeping. I really enjoyed Erotic Nightmare. And then The Deadly Camp is kind of like it's a slasher movie set on a tropical island. It should be better than it is, but it's not really that great. The fun thing about The Deadly Camp is that they included a subtitle track in it from some earlier like VHS release or whatever, where the or a DVD release maybe, where the subtitles are just completely bonkers, crazy. It's almost unreadable nonsense. And I thought that was quite funny because I did look at some parts of the movie with those subtitles, right? So that's the stuff that I watched from Vinegar Syndrome. Then I have some backlog here. I've got a box set of Mexican horror movies by Carlos Enrique Taboada. Don't know anything about this director, but it seems interesting. Rapina, Darker Than Night, and Poison for the Fairies. So this is probably the next Vinegar Syndrome box set that I'm going to go through. Looks pretty interesting. And yeah, I do appreciate these box sets of horror movies from regions that aren't necessarily that well represented often, like Mexico. I guess Indicator also released a Mexican horror movie box set a couple of years ago, but not really that common to see movies from this region. Then I have a copy of Shriek of the Mutilated, which is a Bigfoot movie. Haven't watched that one yet. And what else do we have? Beware, Child at Play. This is a trauma movie, I think. It's a trauma movie about kid killers. So sounds pretty gruesome. Yeah, I got that one. Trauma is the company that released Toxic Avenger and stuff like that. Then I got a copy of Dog Tags. This is a numbered copy. What is it? 2000. Oh my god. 2000 and will it focus ever? No. Hello. No, it won't. That's 2,886 out of 5,000. So Dog Tags by Romano Scavolini, an Italian jungle action movie. A very specific subgenre that I don't know much about. Also has a poster. It looks really big, so I'm not going to put it on camera. It has this art on the poster. So don't know if it's two-sided, but well, there we go. Then I got one Hong Kong movie here. This is Ringo Lam's Undeclared War. Ringo Lam, great director. This is also a numbered copy. 2,679 out of 5,000. Ringo Lam is fantastic. I'm really happy that the Golden Princess Hong Kong action movies finally got publishing rights. So there are going to be a lot of movies by Ringo Lam released by Severin and Arrow in the next couple of years, hopefully. That's Undeclared War, and I also got this. This is the reprint from last year's Black Friday. So they released a limited reprint of Battle for the Lost Planet and Mutant War with a different cover art, I guess. So I got that one. That was extremely limited. Went out of print pretty fast, I think. So yeah, I got that one. And then I have a couple of partner label releases here. So there is Canadian International Pictures and The Other French New Wave Volume 1. So this has Canadian art house movies from 1960s probably. Yeah, early to mid 1960s. The Cat in the Back, The Merry World of Leopold Z, and Yule 871. I don't know anything about Canadian French New Wave, nothing at all. So, yeah. But I do know about Iranian director Asghar Farhadi, so this is a double pack of his early movies, Dancing in the Dust and Beautiful City. Haven't seen either one of these, but Asghar Farhadi is fantastic. And now that I'm here sitting, I realize I am missing one Vinegar Syndrome release that I do have. Where is it on my shelf? Because I have a copy of All About Lily Shoo Shoo. Where is it? This is interesting. It should be there. Like, I have all of my Japanese movies right next to me, and it should be there, but it's not. That's interesting. I'll try to look for it because I would like to include it in the video. Where is my Lily Shoo Shoo? That's weird. I have no idea where it is. Where has it gone? It's out of print and pretty expensive, so I would like to know where it is. That is interesting. I found it. There it is. It was next to Akira and 88 Films, Roman porno movies. I have no idea why. So yeah, I got this one as well. All About Lily Shoo Shoo. One of the greatest soundtracks ever. So this is by Film Movement, directed by Shunji Iwai. It's an early 2000 coming-of-age movie about these like high school age kids, bullying and everything. Like early internet culture. It's very interesting to watch from the point of view of someone who is now in 2025, because this has this sort of an early 2000s in like an anonymous internet forum like subculture angle to it. It's very interesting, and I think this is just an exceptional movie. One of my favorite Japanese movies of all time, definitely. So glad to find it. Glad to figure out that it's not missing. Right, so there you go. I'll probably slide these here if I can. This is going to be a nightmare. I'll slide these here. Like this is the good content that people sign up for. I wonder why my videos don't have hundreds of thousands of viewers. That's a mystery. I don't care. It's entertaining and funny. So there you go. That's my Vinegar Syndrome stuff. And before this all falls apart, I will put some other stuff on top of these. Is that fine? Like that should be fine. That shouldn't fall over. Right. Let's do Highlander. So moving from Vinegar Syndrome to Studio Canal. Now, I have a bunch of Blu-ray by Studio Canal, but only one of these really limited collector's editions. So this is the only one that I thought that I'd include in this video. Actually, I'll grab a couple more box sets from the shelf right there next to me, because there are a couple more that I should probably include here. Right. So this is Highlander, the legendary, or let's say infamous, 1980s sci-fi cult classic fantasy movie. I don't even know. It's ridiculous and it's really entertaining. And this is the highly sought after limited edition that has these like pins in it and just all of the extra stuff. There's a book, has some art in it, some behind the scenes pictures. Has like Adam Lambert is such a weird actor. Also has Sean Connery in it, because of course it does. And yeah, the movie is just ridiculous. There is also this comic book included. I'm not going to flip through the whole thing. There's some art cards. They really went all in with this release. This poster as well has Sean Connery's face on it. It's too big to fit on screen, so I'll keep it folded. And then it has the movie here, Blu-ray and 4K. Really happy to have this. They of course also have other box sets, Studio Canal, other limited editions, but I don't really have those in the collection. But what I do have, because I just glanced over to my side, I do realize I have 2 boxes by Studio Canal that I probably should include here. So they also have this line for like essential collections. I have one of them here for Godard. I should also get the Melville box set at least. There are also others that they've released. So this has Godard's, not all of the most famous movies that he did, but a bunch of them. Breathless, Le Mépris, Pierrot le Fou, Alphaville, and so on. It's a bunch of movies. Yeah, that's the full list of movies there on the bottom as well, with all the specs and the other info. So yeah, I got this Godard box set as well. And I also have this Jacques Tati Ultimate Complete Collection. This is by Studio Canal as well. So these are comedy movies by the famous director Jacques Tati. I haven't watched any of these. Playtime and Mon Uncle are probably the best known, and the Vacation of Monsieur Julio, or whatever that's called in English. Right, this one release is pretty interesting because it also has Finnish subtitles, which is quite rare for these British box sets. Some of the ones by these bigger companies do have like subtitles for multiple regions and not just English. So there you go, that's that. And I think all of the movies are on separate discs. Yeah, let's look at the disc art as well. Different colors for all the movies, that's nice. Probably some really bad reflections. Also my face probably showing up every once in a while as a jump scare. Parade. Yeah, that's cool. That's a couple of Studio Canal box sets. Yeah, I do have, I'm scanning my shelf. I do have a copy of The Frightened City, The Outsiders, the Mads Mikkelsen movie, Another Round, like these sort of slipcover releases of those, but they're just retail Blu-rays with like a little bit of cardboard on them, so they aren't like boutique Blu-rays by any means. These aren't really either, but they're just interesting bigger box sets, so I thought I'd include them. Right, and then moving on, I'll do a rapid fire round of all kinds of different companies, starting off with Grindhouse. I have one release by Grindhouse releasing. This is Cannibal Holocaust, the granddaddy of all cannibal movies. Not the first one, not the last one, but definitely the most effective one. This also comes with the just all kinds of extras, documentaries and everything. Does have a physical soundtrack CD and a booklet. So I recently rewatched this. I've seen this movie a couple of times. Just one of the most insane movies I've ever seen. One of the most violent and just upsetting movies you'll ever see. I watched this now two times, maybe 3 times. And yeah, it's rough. It's really rough. It's like the reputation that the movie has is justified. I also have one release by Shameless. So this is a British company. Grindhouse is American, but that release is region-free. So all of the releases here are region-free or B-region releases. Either or. The Vinegar Syndrome stuff, all of the stuff that I have is region-free. And I probably should have talked about that also in the last video, because I am mixing here American and British companies. But yeah, like these are all discs that if you're European, these work on your machines. If you're American, some of them won't. So this is probably not region-free. This is Cannibal Ferox. I think Grindhouse released this in America. So Cannibal Ferox, another cannibal movie. I really didn't like this one at all. It's by Umberto Lenzi, one of my favorite Italian genre movie directors, but I thought this was just a tamer, lamer version of Cannibal Holocaust. There are some really good special effects in that one as well, but overall, it's not that great. Then I have a couple of releases by Full Moon Features. Some of the movies by this company have been licensed to British companies, but I think these are like directly from Full Moon. I didn't know if I should include these or not, but these are like, this one is has a spine number and everything. This Full Moon spine number 58. Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. It's a comedy spoof on cannibal movies featuring Bill Maher, the TV host. It's from the 1980s, I think. When was this released? Does it even say so? It doesn't even have the... No, it does. 1989. There you go. And then I also have a copy of The Hand That Feeds the Dead, featuring Klaus Kinski. Another one of these Klaus Kinski horror movies. This is also region-free, so these are both region-free releases. Then, jumping into unknown territory for most Americans especially, let's talk about German digibooks. I have one here. This is Suspiria by Dario Argento. So obviously the back cover is completely in German. And yeah, these are really high quality releases, but I don't really like collecting them because they are German releases. I would much prefer just UK or Nordic. So yeah, everything in German as well. Suspiria is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. One of my favorite movies of all time, regardless of genre. So I really wanted to have a copy of the movie in my collection, and this was the best that I could get. Right. Then I have a couple from the British Premium Collection. So these are, as it says on the cover, Blu-ray exclusive at HMV, which is a company that sells stuff in UK. It's like a UK storefront. I have a couple of the releases here. These were for a long time really difficult to get outside of the UK, but they are getting around now more. So I've got The Forbidden Planet, just a classic sci-fi movie featuring Leslie Nielsen, great actor. This is before all of his comedic roles. This is from the 1960s, I think. 1956, so even earlier. Yeah, this is really good. Really good stuff. And then I have a copy of King Kong, the original 1930s one. One of the all-time great monster movies. I think it holds up incredibly well. I just watched this a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was just absolutely phenomenal. The special effects. Everything they were able to do just in the 1930s, it's incredible. It's incredible. Also, extremely violent movie, a shockingly violent and brutal movie. King Kong is just wrecking monsters, just eating people, smashing them around, stepping on people, throwing them around. It's brutal. It's really good. King Kong from 1933. Next up, a stack of movies that I didn't know if I should include here because, again, these are not necessarily boutique Blu-rays, but they are interesting, so I'll show them. So there's a film festival in Finland called Night Visions, and they have a line of Blu-rays like every year. They have even more like on DVD, but I'm not interested in DVD, so I've got a couple of their Blu-rays. They always have this in the top of the spine or somewhere on the spine. They have this logo. If it will focus. Hello. No. Maybe now? Yeah. This logo. Night Visions. So I've got a copy of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So yeah, these are Finnish releases with Finnish text on them. Just excellent movie. One of the great 1970s horror movies. I also got a copy of God Bless America. I saw this movie like a long time ago. I didn't even know that it had a Blu-ray, but I just randomly ran into this and picked it up. It's a comedy movie about these people who go on a killing spree. Then I got a copy of Lux Aeterna by Gaspar Noé, by far his worst movie. I think this movie is borderline unwatchable. It's like 50 minutes. It's around an hour long. I think it's 50 minutes of the most boring nonsense you will ever watch, and then the ending climax is just insane. but I don't know if it's worth it. Then I got a copy of Live It, which is a new French extreme horror movie. One of the weaker ones in the genre that I've seen. I don't know what to say. There's this like a ballerina doll kind of girl character that kills people. Not that great. A movie that is great is The Sadness. This is a Taiwanese zombie movie, and I don't know if they are technically zombies, but some kind of an infection movie. One of the most violent things I've ever seen. Not for the faint of heart. The zombies in that movie are doing heinous things to people. Right, and then lastly from these I have The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. Now this one did recently get a 4K from Arrow Video, but yeah, I'll stick to my Finnish Blu-ray for the time being. For that, it's a Korean like Western action movie. Right, moving on to Blue Underground. I have 2 releases by Blue Underground. This is The 10th Victim, an Italian like a pop art assassin movie. Marcello Mastroianni and Ursula Andress are like competing assassins, kind of, and there's this weird sexual tension between them throughout the movie. Right, then 10th Victim. I think that one is like one of out of all of the movies in this stack. Hello, that's my shadow. The 10th Victim is one of the best I've seen. Like that's a phenomenal movie. And then I have this limited edition of the Stendhal Syndrome by Dario Argento, one of the later Dario Argento movies. Don't know much about this, never watched it. Right. Moving on to Mondo Vision. I have one release by Mondo Vision. This is the limited edition of Possession by Andrzej Zulawski. Comes in this really tight slipcase thing. For some reason it has this string of cloth here. I have no idea why. Is it supposed to like go around the thing, or I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to help you get the thing out or something. Yeah. Possession, one of the all-time great horror movies, in my opinion. This is from the 1980s, I think. Does it say so? When was this released? 1981. Yeah. One of the most bizarre horror movies you will ever watch. Maybe some wouldn't even call it a horror movie. Has technical info and everything here. Really nice looking cover art and the inner art as well. Yeah, it does come with a booklet as well. But yeah, Isabella Adjani and Sam Neill play 2 people who are kind of a couple, I guess. And there's weird stuff going on. It's also a monster movie. That's a bit of a spoiler, but I don't want to say anything more about that. But yeah, it's kind of a monster movie as well. And it's just one of those movies. When you watch it, you will never forget it. You will never forget it. It's an unforgettable experience going through this movie. It's one of those movies that lives in your head after you finish watching it. Right, then I have one Blu-ray by Screenbound. This is Virgin Witch. I got this Blu-ray for almost nothing. It's a couple of euros because the cover was broken, but I swapped out a clean new box for it. So now I have a perfect condition copy of Virgin Witch. I also have one release by Twilight Time, which some of these are quite collectible. I don't know about the state of this, but Twilight Time Blu-rays, some of them have gone up in price quite a bit. So I have a copy of 1984. Again, this is region free. I think these are American Blu-rays. Yeah. Twilight Time I don't think exists anymore either. Yeah, just a classic book adaptation from the George Orwell book. Then I have a couple of releases by Code Red. Let's start with The Black Gestapo. I think there's also a limited edition of this. This is just a standard edition. And the movie is exactly what you would expect. It's a blaxploitation movie about this kind of a freedom army thing. It's pretty good. I do kind of like it. I also have a copy of The Last Hunter, which is again one of these Italian jungle action movies. Don't know much about it. And then I have a copy of Tobe Hooper's Spontaneous Combustion, featuring Brad Dourif. He has a face that you will never forget if you see it once. So yeah, one of Tobe Hooper's, so the guy who directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of his lesser known movies. And then finally, to finish this video, I have 3 releases by Severin. So I got a copy of Horror Express, featuring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. This is region 3, I think. Should be at least. 2 discs. I think this has been released in the UK by probably 88 Films. Maybe Arrow. I think it's 88 Films. And then I have a copy of The Forbidden Door, which is by the crazy Indonesian guy Joko Anwar. Never watched it, but the disc art is quite fabulous. And finally, I have a slipcover edition of Burial Ground, which is a zombie movie by the Italian guy Andrea Bianchi. Really tight slipcover. There you go. Zombie movie from Italy. That's always something that I'm interested in. And that's that. I guess I'll do a 3rd video. I still have one more video to shoot. And that one will have 3rd window in it. I was kind of hoping that I would be able to fit everything into like 3 videos, but no way. Not possible. So the next one will be the last of these boutique Blu-ray collection videos. So look forward to that, featuring only Japanese movies. So that's exciting. So yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll be back next time with something else. Bye.